You she-devil! Where's the knife?
I saw him shudder on the straw. His withered face became distorted, and he threw up both his hands with a quick, hysterical gasp. They struck against the bottom of the manger under which he lay, and the blow awakened him. I had just time to slip through the door before his eyes were fully open and his senses his own again. "Do you know anything about this man's past life?" I said to the landlord.
"Yes, sir. I know pretty well all about it," was the answer. "And an uncommon queer story it is. Why, just look at him. Poor devil, he's so worn out with these restless nights he's dropped back into his sleep already."
"Don't wake him," I said. "I'm in no hurry for the gig. Wait till the other man comes back from his errand. And in the meantime, suppose I have some lunch and a bottle of sherry, and suppose you come and help me to get through it, The heart of mine host, as I had anticipated, warmed to me over his own wine. He soon became communicative on the subject of the man asleep in the stable, and little by little I drew the whole story out of him. It seems that some years ago there lived in the suburbs of a large seaport town on the west coast of England a man of humble circumstances by the name of Isaac Scatchard. His means of subsistence were derived from any employment he could get as an ostler, and occasionally, when times went well with him, from temporary engagements in service as stable helper in private houses. Though a faithful, steady, and honest man, he got on badly in his calling. His ill luck was proverbial among his neighbours. He was always missing good opportunities by no fault of his own, and Unlucky Isaac was his nickname in his own neighbourhood. When he was out of service, he lived alone with his widowed mother, who contrived to provide for her simple wants by doing rough work for the tailors, and always managed to keep a decent home for her son to return to whenever his ill luck drove him out helpless into the world. One bleak autumn, when Isaac was getting on towards 40, and when he was, as usual, out of place through no fault of his own, he set forth from his mother's cottage on a long walk inland to a gentleman's seat, where he had heard that a stable helper was required. It wanted then but 2 days of his birthday, and Mrs. Scatchard, with her usual fondness, made him promise before he started that he would be back in time to keep that anniversary with her in as festive a way as their poor means would allow. It was easy for him to comply with this request, even supposing he slept a night each way on the road. He was to start from home on Monday morning, and whether he got the new place or not, he was to be back for his birthday dinner on Wednesday at 2 o'clock. Arriving at his destination too late on the Monday night to make application for the stable helper's place, he slept at the village inn, and in good time on the Tuesday morning presented himself at the gentleman's house to fill the vacant situation. Here again his ill luck pursued him as inexorably as ever. His long walk had been in vain. Only the day before, the stable helper's place had been given to another man. Isaac accepted this new disappointment resignedly, and as a matter of course. He set forth on his homeward journey, and walked all day with only one stoppage for bread and cheese. Just as it was getting towards dark, the rain came on and the wind began to rise, and he found himself stopping at a lonely roadside inn for the night. At a little after 11, the house was closed, and Isaac went round with the landlord holding the candle while the doors and lower windows were being secured. He noticed with surprise the strength of the bolts, bars, and iron-sheathed shutters.
"You see, we are rather lonely here," said the landlord. "We never had any attempts made to break in yet, but it's always as well to be on the safe side."
It was 11:30 by the clock in the passage as they went upstairs to the bedroom, the window of which looked out onto the wood at the back of the house.
"Oh, here's where you're to sleep," said the landlord. "You're the only lodger tonight, and I think you'll say my missus has done her best to make you comfortable."
Isaac locked the door, set his candle on the chest of drawers, and wearily got ready for bed. The bleak autumn wind was still blowing, and Isaac resolved as he lay down to keep the candle alight until he began to grow sleepy, for there was something unendurably depressing in the bare idea of lying awake in the darkness, listening to the dismal, ceaseless moan of the wind in the wood. Sleep stole on him before he was aware of it. His eyes closed, and he fell off insensibly to rest, without having so much as thought of extinguishing the candle. In one moment he passed from a state of sleep to a state of wakefulness, his eyes wide open, his mental perceptions cleared on a sudden as if by a miracle. The candle had burnt down nearly to